Gonna go before we do a pressing session. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna show some basic of pressing. So in this example, we are pink team. The green and black team here are doing their build up. Obviously, if we're talking about pressing, okay, it always has to be from a short build up, okay. If their team likes to do a long ball, it's not really pressing, because when I'm talking about high pressing, I'm talking about their team gets a little closer, okay, to play. All right, that's a short build up, something we already practice, right? And that way we can do a press, right? So basically here on this example, pink team is on a 4-1-4-1. That's the last formation we used on our last game. So basically, what happens here is as we go, uh, as we go on a high press, there are three triggers that we talked about. So what do I mean by that? I mean triggers. They are made so the team do it together. Okay, so for example, if I have established triggers, then that means everybody's gonna go up. Okay, if not, let's say we are in low block and our number 9 here decided to press because they really want the ball. Okay, they go alone, there's no trigger here, right? And let's say they go alone, there's plenty of space because the team is not connected. That's a huge gap between this player and this player here, right? So that's a problem. That's why we have triggers. Also, sometimes we might just be losing the game and it might not need any triggers. But let's say we're in a normal situation. Let's say our team got in a middle block here, right? And out of the sudden, this player did a bad touch, right? Okay, that's a trigger. So the triggers are bad touch, passing back to the goalie is another one. And if somehow this number 8 controls it and she's facing her own goal against 9 here, that's a trigger as well for us to go and press it, right? Those are the triggers. Also, if we're losing, we need the result. Okay, hey, can we high press now? But the thing is, when the goalie has the ball, when we're high pressing, we're not automatically gonna be here, okay, like that. Why not? Okay, simple. Because if we are already here, they're simply gonna play over us. Okay, it's like we're inviting them to do that, and we might do that in certain situations when we want it to go long. But if we want a high press, we might not want to make it obvious behind pressing. So we're starting a little bit behind like this, if that makes any sense. So why? Because then the green team has the idea, okay, I have space, let's play short. And now it's when we go ahead and press, right? Let's say we're losing, we want a high press. Okay. Or let's say we're really high energy right now, we high in confidence, we want a high press for whatever reason. Great, let's high press. As long as the whole team goes together. What do I mean by that? So, as soon we let them space to play at first, as soon as the goalie chooses the side, okay, let's say they choose the left side. Okay, our whole team first is gonna come to the left, obviously, right? We're gonna focus on this side, right? Which means that our 6 also come up, our defense, they gotta come up, okay? They have to. Because if they leave that space there, coach, I'm too afraid of this space right here. Okay, that's a risk of high pressing. But the thing is, we have to come closer, all right? Also, when we high pressing, the goalie must be here, because if this ball is played here for this player, the goal is already here, so she can play. Obviously, we're not gonna high press the whole time because it's physically exhausting. okay? This is another thing that I need to mention about pressing. It is supposed to be exhausting. What I mean by that is it's pressing is all about mentality, okay? All players must go into pressing being certain they're gonna steal the ball, which means they're gonna apply extremist pressure to this player. They're gonna come and they're gonna close all the passing opportunities. So in that case, what I would like for them to do is for 10 to be already here. In case 2 is trying to go back to the goalie, she's already halfway there, okay? But also, you see how she's also marking 6 at the same time? Yeah, so that's a great opportunity here. So as soon as the goalie chooses, okay, 9 is gonna go extraneous, like really fast and really strong, applying pressure to the ball, okay? It's about mentality. It's about, hey, I want to get this ball no matter what. 9 is also curving her run. Okay, you see? She's curving her run. Why? Because the moment she curves her run like this, she also closes this passing lane. You see? That ball ain't going to be passed to 3. Okay, unless number 2 is really good to pass in front, like a up ball on top of 9. But the goal is to come apply pressure and block number 3 lane at the same time. And then 7 is going to be with 7. 8 is going to be with 10. 10 is going to be halfway between these two. Defense is going to be squeezing. 6 is going to double up. So let's say number 2 is able to get a pass to 7. 6 is going to double up with 7. So with doing this at a high speed, and as soon as we steal this ball, we're finishing. We must be finishing that in less than 5 seconds. That's the goal. Okay, so we steal the ball, we're finishing in less than 5 seconds. Because that's why pressing is so high rewarding. If we steal the ball here, look how close we are from the goal. But it's also exhausting. Okay, and it's also very much risky, because if that ball somehow made it to number 9, that's a bunch of space here. That's why the goalie needs to be here. And sometimes it's gonna happen. And if we are against a high striker here, it is a danger and they might score. But here's the thing: number 9 here, whoever's pressing the ball, right, needs to make sure they're not gonna play that ball. So the pressing needs to be that good to where we close up this option, right? Let's say they press it, they pass back to the goalie. Okay, in that situation, okay, we are already gonna come and press up this side. See? And I want them to be with no option, right? But let's say before we get there, they pass to 5. Okay, no problem. I want my 10 to curve that run, closing the number 4. I want my 6 to stick with 8. She's gonna, I want my 8 to stick with 6. She's gonna come and try to pass. But hey, this is an 8. My 5 is gonna be here. My defense is gonna move that side, right? 10 is also gonna move to be able to get the ball, right? 11 is gonna be here on 8. 7 is gonna close the space. And 9 is gonna come here for another pressure, double up here. Also closing. So it is, pressing is all about, especially for this group, pressing is all about, instead of us all going and pressing the ball like that, no. Closest player to the ball is gonna press, okay, just like number 10 here. However, we're not doing all at the same time. Only 10 is pressing the ball, but 6 is making sure she has, number 5 here has no option. My A here is making sure our number 6 has no option. So the other players aren't going for the ball at all, but they are closing their option. That's pressing all about. And our group thinks that pressing is just pressing like this, like chicken heads. All they can do is whoop. Now they have space. No. Pressing is not about that. Pressing is about person closest to the ball is making sure they very uncomfortable with it while they closing this passing lane here, okay, and other players making sure they stuck, and I mean by really strong mark on the other players. So as you can see, 6 is not pressing the ball, 8 is not pressing the ball, but they making sure number 5 has no option but to either lose it to 10 or to go long. And now if we go long, we should have options here. And now here, we are already suffocating them. That's why my defense is so close, because it's my cover as well. Let's say 10 managed to turn my 6. Oop, I have coverage. And then 6 is going to come back. So the point of the pressing, guys, it's being brutally about your pressing and about not giving them option. So these sessions are made for them to be really tired, because they're supposed to be, but the rewarding should be, oh, we steal it, can we finish? And if we steal it, we're right here. There's no need to do anything else but finishing. And that's also a mentality. So pressing is all about how hard you press, how hard you close the other options, okay? And how quick can we finish? Obviously, we're not going to be able to do that for the whole game. Why? Because it's extremely tiring, okay? Even professional teams that are extremely fit, they train for that all year long. They cannot do that for the whole match because it's tiring, right? But it's so rewarding if you do it right. And my goal as a coach is for us to make them really uncomfortable to where we can steal the ball and finish right off. So those are simple sessions, really, but they are made for us to steal it, make these players make a mistake, right? And finish as quick as possible, basically.